Okay, guys, so welcome back on my channel Varteta Learning Platform. And from today onwards, I am going to add one more playlist on my channel, which is related to the design patterns. And in this playlist, you will be able to find out number of design patterns that we will study one by one and associated code with those design patterns. And we will also discuss the basic concepts related to those design patterns as well at the same time. Okay, so singleton design pattern I will discuss today, and which is the simplest one. And I hope you guys are aware about this design pattern, and you might have used this design pattern as well. And in this design pattern, the thing is that there is only one object of a class that will be created. Okay, throughout the life of the program, only one object of this particular class will be created, and for that, what we do, we add a private constructor, and then we add a public static method that will be returning the singleton object. I mean the object for that particular class, right? And a point, basically the pointer to that particular class. And this is how we can do this. So I hope I don't need to explain anything in this, because singleton design pattern is very simple. And even if you look into this code, you will be easily able to find out that what is happening here. And if we have to create a instance of this object, instance of this class, then what we will do, we will simply come here in the main method. And if I just remove it for the time being, then if I have to create the instance, then I just need to write this piece of code, and I will get it, test singleton asterisk p, and get test singleton object, right? So this is how we get the singleton object, and once it is created, there is no problem. And every time any other function will call this, any other function want to use this particular object, this singleton object, it will be able to get the same object every time. I mean, no new memory will be allocated next time. It will be created only once. This memory will be allocated only once. There is no two-time memory allocation for the same object. But this was the simple singleton design pattern that you might have studied, and if you have not studied, then also you must be able to understand it very easily. But today I'm going to discuss not the simple singleton design pattern. I'm going to discuss about a variation of the singleton design pattern, which is known as the double check locking pattern. Right? The name is double check locking, DESIG, and design pattern. Right? So double check locking pattern we are going to discuss today. So what is that? What does that mean? Why we need that double check locking pattern, right? So before that, we just need to write a piece of code. I just need to write a piece of code where I'm creating two threads. I have two threads. One thread is demo thread 1 and the other thread is demo thread 2. And I have created the handle for these two threads, th1 and th2. And here I have just initialized those threads. So you can just go to the definition of create thread function on the MSDN, and you can see that what are the arguments that it needs. So first argument is the security attribute, which I have passed null, so that it can use the current user's security parameters, right? And then the next one is stack size. If I provide 0, then in that case it will use the default stack size that is allotted for a for a thread. And then this is the starting point of the thread. Every thread has a starting point, so this particular thread has the starting point as demo thread 1. And then we pass the argument to this function, this thread. I don't want to pass any of the argument to this thread, so I have passed it to null. And then it's like in what mode we are going to create the thread. Will it be suspended or will it be immediately schedulable? So if you provide 0, then it will be immediately schedulable. Otherwise, if you use the create suspended flag, then in that case you need to just wake it up. I mean, at some point of time in your code, you need to wake it up, your thread, then only it will be scheduled. And the same thing I have done with the second thread. Demo thread 2 is also the same kind of thread, and the same kind of same parameters I have used for this one as well. And then I have created an array of handles so that I can pass as to wait for multiple objects. Wait for multiple objects basically used for waiting on the kernel object. So here thread is a kernel object. In fact, thread is not a kernel object. There is a kernel object associated with each of the threads in your system. If you create a thread, then an associated kernel object is created in your system, and that we have stored in the thread. And on those set of kernel objects, we are waiting, so that until those threads are done, we are not moving ahead. If we will not do this, then before our threads comes to a completion, our main thread will comes to completion, and we will not be able to stop on these two threads, right? So that is why we need to call the wait function. So for the more information, you can go to the MSDN and you can check this function, wait for multiple objects, that how it works. But I hope you might be aware about this. If you are a professional, then you might be aware about this function. If you are a student, then you need to go to the MSDN and you need to understand what does this mean, and what does create thread function do, and what does it takes. I mean, what argument it takes and what it does, how it actually starts a thread, right? So here, ultimately, we have two threads, demo thread 1, demo thread 2. And you know that when a machine or when an operating system is running two separate threads, then it gives some time slice to one thread, and then it gives some time slice to other thread. So that way, using any of the scheduling algorithm, it gives the time slices to various threads, and that way every thread gets some time slice to execute itself, right? So I have written I have written the same piece of code in demo thread 1 and demo thread 2. I mean, both the threads will do the same kind of thing, which is creating the singleton object, right? So both of the threads are trying to make a race to get this object created. But in this case, when the two threads are trying to get the same singleton object, then in that case, we cannot assure that this will be initialized only once. It can be that it is initialized twice. And how that can be done, I can show you. I'm just writing a message box here, message box null, and then you need to give the text test MESSAGE test message, and then its caption test, and then MB OK, right? So OK will be the button that will be displayed. So what will happen, like when thread 1 will come to here, why I have used message box? Message box is basically a blocker for your it's an input, if someone is trying to you know click on OK button, or someone need to just get rid of this message box, then it's a blocker function. Since it's a blocker function, so it will not move ahead the instruction till you respond on it, on this message box. I mean, till you click on the OK button, this particular function will not move ahead for every thread, for this thread as well and for this thread as well. So what will happen, that when you have stopped for some input, there is a rule. You might have studied about that rule in operating system concepts during your college days, that when your operating system is waiting for some input, then in that case, that thread becomes blocked, right? It means that that particular thread will not get any time slice. If that get time slice, then also it will not move ahead, and it will be placed on the back store, right? Which means that it will not, even if it gets time slice, then also it will not move ahead in the instructions. It will not execute the next instruction until the input has been provided by the user, right? So what will happen here, when we will run this application, then both these two threads will try to create this singleton object, and both of these two will reach here, right? Since first thread will reach here, whichever is the first thread, that will reach here, and that will wait for operator to click on OK. But operator will not click on OK. Since operator will not click on OK, this thread will be in the sleeping state. I mean, this thread will not get the time slice again. But meanwhile, the second thread will come, and it will also reach here. Why? Because this MP singleton will still be null, because you are waiting here. So this thing has not been executed. So no new address has been assigned to MP singleton. So that is why the second thread will also find it to be null, and then it will again show you the same message. You will click on both the messages one by one, and both the threads will execute this instruction, which means that MP singleton will not remain a singleton object. Even if you have written the singleton logic, this will not remain a singleton object. The new memory address will be assigned to this. One memory address will be got this thread will get, and the other memory address this thread will get, which will defeat the purpose of singleton object, creation of a singleton object logic, right? So let's see that how it happens, right? So here I will just add one more instruction, cout engl, the address of object. What will be the address of, you simply need to give the name of the object, MP singleton, right? So for the first thread, this object address should be something else, and for the second thread, this address should be something else, right? So let's start this. So it has been started, and now you have got the test message. You might have got two test messages from both the threads. What I told you, that you will get the test message with respect to both the threads. Now what I will do, I will simply create this, click on this one, and you will get the address of object as this. You have got this address here, you can see on the black screen, right? And then this is the second thread where my application is waiting. So I will just click on this OK as well, and now you will see that a new address has been assigned to the object. So you can see that that the two addresses has been assigned, not two addresses, basically this address has been overridden with this particular address, the new address. So which is defeating the purpose of having the logic of singleton object, right? So that is why it is not working. So in this case, I mean, I just shown you by adding this message box. It may be and it may not be that this will always happen, but if some condition happens, like whatever I have shown you through this message box, if same condition occurs, then what will happen? This will no more remain a singleton object. It will not be a singleton object class. The logic in this class will not work as a singleton class object, right? So what we can do now, we need to create a critical section object, critical section, and here you need to write critical section asterisk, sorry, it's MCS1, and you can just use this. And in this main thread, you just need to initialize the critical section, and just place it right MCS1, right? Initialize it, and then after all the things are done, just delete it. Delete critical section. So here you will write like MCS1. So you have initialized and deleted the critical section, and here what I will do, before I go to the critical section, before I check this singleton object, I just need to check enter critical section. I just need to check if anyone else is has entered into this critical section. If someone has entered into this critical section, then I will not enter here, right? So if I do write, if I write like this, and I just do the same thing, and before returning, if I write this particular line here, then let's see what happens to both the threads. MCS1. Okay, so this need to be placed on the top. Okay, so this MCS1 is already there, enter critical section, and after before returning, just do it leave critical section. Address of MCS1. Okay, so just need to, what the hell is this? Undeclared. Why this is undeclared identifier? This is telling lie, man. Okay, yeah, it was telling lie. Okay, so this MCS1 is here. You have entered into the critical section, and then we are just leaving the critical section. So now let's run it. Test message, and you can see that there are two test messages. But again, if I press both of the test messages box, then I will get same address, because here I have, before entering to the critical section, we have just checked it, test message, right? So this is the way it will be it will be able to create a singleton object. So you can see that in both the times the address was same for both the threads. But let us do one more thing. Just need to remove this and just enable this message box. Okay, so now let's do it again. What will happen? This message, and here just need to do one thing, test message, and there is only one test message. So both the things are coming fine, right? So enter critical section, someone has entered into the critical section to, so it will not allow you to enter into this particular message box. So only one thread will be able to show this test message box, right? So if I just do this, then it is going to just wait for here, because one thread is here. So the one thread is waiting on this critical section object, and then until this thread has been done and this leaves the critical section, this leaves the critical section for this function, till the time the other thread will not be able to enter into this critical section. And once it is done, then the second thread will be able to find that no, it is already null, it is not null, so I don't need to run this particular logic, and it will be able to return the particular singleton object. Okay, so this is the way you just need to add it. So that is about the double check locking pattern in the C sharp, in a C++ application. Okay, so this is the double check locking pattern where you are doing the dual checks. One is for critical section, and another is for your other lock. Okay, so this was how you can control the creation of the singleton object. So you can create many more such kind of threads, and you can check. Like I have created only 2 threads, you can create 2 more and you can check, right? So this was all. We will meet in the next video with some other design pattern. So I'm trying to explore the observer design pattern in the next video. So till then, have a nice day, bye bye, and take care.